Oh my god, I cannot believe it. I really cannot believe what we just saw. So yeah, welcome back everyone. This is Fantasy Girl here, back with just a quick update on everything that we learned from the showcase. The showcase was on just hours ago. I just finished watching it and I was not disappointed. Not disappointed at all. I am so happy. Okay, so what this video is just going to be a quick update on everything that we learned so far from the showcase, everything that we know from the next expansion of 6.0, and they started off with the teaser trailer. So this is not the whole trailer, it's not the complete trailer here. Still looking as grizzled and kind of graying, like as we've come to know them from Shadowbringers. We see them just walking along with kind of a tattered cloak. We can see armor underneath the cloak. And, I mean, this has been speculated for a very long time. I myself came up with a theory that we would be going here, but I did not expect it like this. But, yeah, it looks like we're going to be heading straight off to the moon this time. So, here we are. We still don't have a complete map just yet. But it does look like the entire world is on fire. It looks like the final days are soon upon us if they're not already. We're moving on to Alize here. So I'm going to mention more of this in detail much later on. I'm probably going to do like a step-by-step video of just like every cutscene that we saw. But we see Alize here fighting for her life, as well as the fact it looks like she got a costume change. Thank God for that. And here, of course, we have the Warrior of Light here to defend her. He's protecting her, fighting against the monster, and it looks like we have a brand new weapon. Again, I will be talking more about that in just a moment, but yes, it looks like Alphino is finally in for a much-needed update. Thank God for that, too. So, yeah, she's telling him off for that. He's still going to play the part of a healer. It looks like she's choosing to stay the part of a red mage. I guess I can live with that. I was kind of expecting her to do a job change, too, but what can you do? Okay, next up we have what looks like a burn-in map as well as Fandaniel. I mean, I kind of freaked out at first when I saw all this architecture. I thought for sure that we were going back to the Void Ark or something, because that's what it looks like. And I did a whole video about my live reaction. I'm going to be putting that out very soon too, like probably right after this video. Oh my god, the world is just on fire. Garlemald is kind of burning. It's madness. And there we are, the Warrior of Light, dressed as a paladin, standing on the moon, looking down at the planet. Oh my god, I'm getting Sailor Moon vibes from this. Okay, so there we go. That is what looks like the entire world on fire. I'm not sure what that thing is. I'm guessing it's some kind of... It looks like a sword or something. I don't know. Anyway, yes, it's coming out fall 2021. Damn it, I was hoping for summer. I was really hoping Square Enix will just skip the parts 1 and part 2s for 5.5. Oh well. But yeah, that's the new cover art, the new logo, Endwalker. That is the new name for our brand new expansion coming out. I guess it wasn't Forspoken after all. I mean, I was convinced it was going to be Forspoken, but hey, what can you do? If I seem a little excited, please forgive me for that. So yes, that is just the teaser trailer for everything that we know so far. Yeah, they're going to be adding the whole trailer later on, probably at the next Fans Festival, which is going to be coming up in a few months. Alright, so now we're just going to be moving straight on into everything that we learned from the showcase. So this is just going to be a very quick summary of everything that we did find out, everything that they did mention or touch upon, and that's just going to be all the information that we'll have for now. Right, so moving on, we have our new expansion title at long last. I was convinced it was going to be Forspoken, but no, it is called Endwalker. I'm not sure if that sounds better or worse, but I'll take it. How the picture here is kind of a homage to 1.0 in the artwork. You can kind of see that very easily because the pose that the Warrior of Light is doing is very similar to how he looked like in the very first, I guess, the artwork for 1.0. So I guess we're coming full circle, and you see just how far the Warrior of Light has come since then. So that really is a really nice addition that they did. Also, as I'm sure you probably noticed by now, the cutscene job here is Paladin. I was very much convinced it was going to be Summoner, so I was kind of you know, getting like all the gear that I needed for Summoner, so I'm kind of trying to figure out a way to kind of get the item level up for Paladin. And then again, I have been leveling up Dark Knight, so I guess that's the same thing, so maybe I'm not in so much trouble. Anyway, I got plenty of time anyway, so... Okay, moving on. They did mention that they do have 2 new jobs coming for us, so yes, that's what we were all expecting, we were all hoping for, and one of the new jobs is in fact going to be a healer, like we all suspected. They even went into details more about what kind of job it is. The second job, however, they did not go into any details about yet, only that it is a melee job. Again, I'm a little bit surprised because I was convinced that it was going to be Alize who was going to become a new job, but I guess she's just going to stay as a red mage. What can you do? But we did get a quick preview of what the new job is going to be thanks to Alphino from the trailer. So yes, the new job is in fact called Sage. So Sage has been a classic Final Fantasy job for a very long time now. It's not one of the more well-known ones. It's not really one of the more common ones, I guess. But I definitely heard it and I got really excited when I saw it. So I can't wait to do a whole video on that. The weapon, however, is supposed to be an original weapon. It's an ether-imbued weapon known as the Nolitz. Apparently, Alphino does end up changing because of the main scenario quest. So if we want to find out why he suddenly changed from his grimoire to the Noliths, we're going to have to play through the main scenario quests. And I'm excited about that, I'm not going to lie. I'm really looking forward to seeing how well that goes. So apparently, this job is controlled by magic and they will change depending on what type are weapons that are equipped. It's going to be starting off at level 70 and it's a barrier type healer. So a barrier type healer is much like the Astrologian, whereas the White Mage is what they consider to be a pure healer. So this job heals and protects party members with barriers, so that sounds like something that Alphino would do. I do think that he's been desperately in need of an update for a while now. I mean, I love his carbuncles, I love that he keeps coming up with more carbuncles, but yeah, I do think that, especially with the final days coming up, he kinda needs to step it up. But apparently, he's going to be using Ether to manipulate Noliths in combat. They're able to temporarily augment their own magic abilities and to make that a little bit more unique for this job. And to unlock this particular job, it is unlocked in Limsa Lominsa. So yeah, can't wait for that. That's going to be my new favorite healer, I predict. As for the second job, I'm afraid we don't know what the second job is just yet. I'm afraid that it's still going to be kept in the dark. They don't want to give away everything, of course. As for the second job, I'm afraid we still don't know too much about it. The only thing that we do know for sure is that it is going to be a melee DPS. However, I should point out Yoshi-P's shirt. So, I mean, this has always been a bit of a running joke with Yoshi-P because in every one of the fan festivals, like right before an expansion, he will purposely wear like very specific types of shirts in order to kind of give a clue of what we can be expecting for the second job. Like I remember like when he came out, like just before Heaven's Ward, he wore a Dark Knight t-shirt. Like literally he wore like a Batman t-shirt. Just before Stormblood came out, he wore a shirt that kind of gave away the Red Mage. I just think he gets a kick out of it. I think he purposely wears like these specific shirts just to drive us insane and wondering if we are possibly going to get it. So, I mean, it's not very specific, this other shirt that he's wearing. It is, we do have the neighborhood here. We got a skull on it, and I'm not going to say exactly what it is. I'm going to let you draw your own conclusions. I do have a theory about what the second job is going to be, but it doesn't really make too much sense if it's going to be a melee job, and this particular job is really considered more of a caster, but hey, one thing you gotta know about Yoshi-P is that he lies. He lies all the time. He's not ashamed of it. He loves just toying with us, like messing with us, so it would not surprise me if this time he is just screwing with us here. Anyway, he did say that the second job will officially be revealed in May for the Digital Fan Fest. Anyway, moving on to the story. They did go a little bit more into details of what we can be expecting from the story of Endwalker. Now, as They have been saying about this for a very long time now. 6.0 is supposed to be the ending of both Hydaelyn and Zodiark. That is going to be officially closing the chapter of Hydaelyn and Zodiark. And they even showed like part of the presentation here, just kind of how far we progressed. They had the sunrise over a realm reborn, which was like the beginning of a brand new day. And then we had the cold blue sky of Heavensward, which is like midday. And then the crimson twilight of Stormblood. And then finally we had the black of night of Shadowbringers. So Endwalker, in their eyes, is going to be symbolizing a new dawn. So it's going to be the end of one story, but the beginning of another. Now, I should point out that just because the story of Hydaelyn and Zodiark will be ending with 6.0, that does not put an end to the story of Final Fantasy XIV. They reassured us that they are going to be sticking around for at least a while longer yet. I'm guessing for several more expansions at the very least. Cannot wait, but those are going to be part of whole new stories. So this is just going to be the end of Chapter 1. This is going to be the end of Hydaelyn and Zodiark, just for that storyline. We still have a lot more of the world of Final Fantasy XIV to explore, more lore to be released and everything, so I can't wait for that. So normally what happens though is that when we get an expansion, we play through it, and by the end of the story, it feels like we beat them. We beat the bad boss, and I mean, it's not officially over. That particular story is just like the main part of it, and then the story doesn't officially end until like the X.3 patches. Here, however, they made it very clear that the story of Hydaelyn and Zodiark is going to end with 6.0. Following 6.1 and onwards, that is going to be setting up a whole new story, which is going to be completely separated from this particular storyline with Hydaelyn and Zodiark. Also, I know a lot of people have been worried that, especially with Final Fantasy XVI coming out, that Yoshi-P is going to be leaving. He did reassure us he is not leaving. He's going to be sticking around for the long haul. He's been here since A Realm Reborn, and he considers this his life's work. It's his passion. He's not going to be leaving because of it. And even if he does get like other projects and other games to play on, like, he's not going to be leaving us, which I'm really thankful for, because we need you, Yoshi-P. Like, the story will not be the same without you. So what else do we know about the story? Onward and upwards, ever greater adventures await the Warrior of Light. So, ever since Shadowbringers, we've had a lot of questions about the final days and everything that happened before the Sundering, and they did touch base about that a little bit here. What were the final days that brought the mighty ancients to their knees? To uncover myriad secrets of Hydaelyn, Zodiark, and deeper mysteries still, the Warrior of Light embarks on a journey to the moon, the long-awaited conclusion to the tale of gods light and dark. So yes, this is definitely going to be the end of Hydaelyn and Zodiark. There is no two ways about it. They came out and said it. However, we still have all of these burning questions. What brought about the final days? What became of Hydaelyn and Zodiark? What will happen to the GARLEAN Empire? What is Xenos and Fandaniel planning? What is to be found on the moon? We've had these questions for a long freaking time, and nobody will answer them for us. However, they did confirm it, that all of these answers and so much more, along with the fates of both the Warrior of Light, the Scions, and the Ancients' final wish, is going to be revealed here. Can you feel the excitement? I can! I cannot wait, and at the same time, I'm terrified. What is going to happen? Okay, I cannot wait. You should see what I have planned for my live reaction when I first saw the teaser trailer. So I'm going to be putting that up as soon as this one comes out, but yeah, I am just freaking out about all of this information. Okay, so going on to the main characters that we can be expecting apart from the Warrior of Light. They went into details on 4 major characters for this upcoming expansion. So I'm sure that you all remember, like, right before Shadowbringers came out, we had the other Scions finally playing a big role in this, not just with the twins, who we're usually seen with. Kind of like how we had a big major point for Lise and Stormblood. In Shadowbringers, we had Urianger, Thancred, Reen, and Y'shtola, who all kind of took center stage here. I mean, technically we didn't know about Reen yet. We kind of thought that she was Minfilia. Anyway, They did touch upon 4 major characters here. They're probably going to have more later on, but for right now we only have the 4, such as Alphino. So he's definitely going to be in it. I'm really happy that he's finally in like one of these major trailers here. But yes, Alphino is going to be the new Sage job, and though the gear that he's wearing is kind of what we can be expecting for the main gear for the Sage, this particular set was specifically designed for him, so he's still going to be a healer. He's going to be the new... So he's still going to be our healer. However, it looks like he decided that his grimoires aren't going to be enough, so he upgraded to something that I think is just awesome. As for Alize, she is still considered to be a red mage, which I'm a little surprised with because she was so disappointed about a lack of development back in 5.3. Anyway, she is going to be getting a costume change, which I'm glad to see because the one that she got from Heaven's Ward, I don't think it suits her. I really am much happier with the new outfit that she was shown having. And apparently they did say that we are going to be in for a surprise to see who gives it to her. I mean, I kind of thought that it was going to be from Tataru. I don't think that's the case. So those are the 2 allies that we can be expecting. I don't know anything about the other Scions so far. However, they did talk about the big 2 bosses from right now. One of which, of course, is Fandaniel. So Fandaniel, he's still walking around in Asahi's body. We still don't know exactly who he is or what he's planning. However, they did reassure us that Fandaniel is not the last boss of the game, which I'm glad to hear about. However, he's apparently got a big and complex secret, and they can't tell us exactly what it is without spoilers, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they have with Fandaniel. And then, of course, there's the man that we all know and love to hate. It's Xenos. So Xenos is going to be playing a major role in this. I know a lot of people may be disappointed because of this guy here. I mean, Xenos has one purpose in life, and his purpose is to fight with his friend/enemy. I mean, if you look back on the last few cutscenes that we've had with him over the last few patches, he doesn't refer to us as his enemy anymore. He only refers to us as his friend. Now, we don't feel that way about him, but he definitely feels like we're friends here. So, I mean, apart from a change of wardrobe, we really don't have too much more about from Xenos. So, I mean, I do hope that they do something. I mean, kind of biased judgment here. I personally don't mind Xenos all that much. I don't think that he's as bad as people are making him out to be. I mean, he is kind of boring right now because we haven't seen him do much, especially lately. But I am holding out hope that they do something special with him. I can't wait to see what happens with his story. So, yeah, let's move on from there. Now, since Final Fantasy XIV has gone on so long, we've had so many characters that we've met in the story, and they want to bring back a lot of those characters for this next expansion. Ooh, I cannot wait to see who they have planned. They say that this story is going to be very complex, full of surprises and secrets that's going to excite everyone. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to know more. I can't even wait to see the whole trailer. I want to know what's going on now. Okay, so moving on to the features that we can be expecting from the new expansion. So we're just going to run over these kind of quickly here because we're kind of using up a lot of time. So, yes, new features. We do have a new level cap from 80 to 90, kind of what we were expecting. And you can kind of see here, like, some of the new gear sets that we can be expecting for the new expansion as well. Cannot wait to see that. I'm always so excited to see the new gear. So it looks like here we have the Dark Knight, the White Mage, Samurai, and looks like Black Mage. I love that they added the little black cat there at the end, so can't wait for that. Next up, we have massive new area. So they haven't come out and said it exactly. I mean, they did say that we were going to the moon. But also, I think it's quite obvious that we are going to be heading into Ishabard. And here is going to be part of it. So this has also been an area that was predicted. I really didn't take too much thought into the whole thing. But yeah, I'm really surprised about it. But I'm not complaining. So as is traditional, with every new expansion, we get 2 cities, like 2 hubs. One, we get a much larger city that we can explore. The other one is a much smaller city, kind of like Yulmore and the Reach. So they did show us what the smaller of the 2 cities is going to be. So it's not the new hub. We don't know what that one is yet, but already I can feel the theories flying. But here we go, we have like this entire city like right on perched on this plateau, and it is none other than RADZ-AT-HAN. Yes, so it's going to be a much smaller town. They can't go into details about the larger one yet, but yes, it is confirmed we are going to Thandar. And we've heard about Thandar for a very long time. It's going to be a subtropical feel to it. It's kind of like that Mideastern kind of feel to it. So it's very different. Like the design of everything here is very different to what we're used to seeing. Oh, it looks great. They have some screenshots here. So, oh my god, it just looks so cool. I love it. This is like an area like where the dancer came from, and yeah, I cannot wait. You can tell how excited I am. I am just so pumped up. Also, another city that we are going to, it's not confirmed if this is the new hub. I don't think it is. I think the new hub's going to be someplace else. But one of the areas that we are going to is, yes, at long last, we have the GARLEAN Empire. And god damn it, does it look rough. It looks like a hurricane and a tornado mated and just tore through here together, and they just threw in a wildfire just to be jerks about it. So, I mean, a lot of people were expecting this whole grand city, like this majestic city, like kind of what we saw before when we saw the few flashes of it, and no, that is not the case. I don't know if this is something that happened recently. I mean, if you look at it, it looks like it's been in beaten up shape for a long time, but yeah, how did it get this way? Why does the Warrior of Light have to go there, and what are they going to find? They did promise they have a deep story that's going to be tied to this place, but yeah, that's all we know for sure. So that's 2 places, I guess technically 3 places if you want to include the moon, but 3 places confirmed for us to be going to. So I can't wait to see what the others are. Now, moving on to the new tribes. Yes, it would not be a Final Fantasy game without the Beast tribes. And generally, they usually have at least 2 new tribes that they introduce into each expansion. Kind of like how we had the Nath and the Vanu Vanu for Heaven's Ward. We had Kojin and the Ananta for Stormblood. And then we had the Pixies and... well, I guess kind of just the Pixies there. But we also had the new Mole and everything. So that was a whole different thing. So anyway, moving on to the Beast tribes. We have the tribe known as the Arcasadora, or simply known better as the Matanga. So if you don't know what the Matanga are, they are elephant people. So they have some, kind of just some screenshots here of what they look like. So they have like, these look like if elephants' trunks shrunk and they learned to walk upright, kinda. So we have faced like several kind of similar Matanga before. Those were kind of more like wild, like untamed, like dangerous types of tribe. These guys are supposed to be much friendlier, kind of like how we traditionally have with the Beast tribes. So yeah, I think that we're going to be meeting these guys probably around Thandar. I mean, it looks like someone that we would meet in Thandar. Anyway, can't wait for that. They do promise that there are going to be other Beast tribes as well, but this is just the ones that they are bringing up first and foremost. So yeah, moving on to the new threats. So I think many Final Fantasy X fans are going to notice this. I freaked out when I saw it myself. Yes, it is none other than ANIMA. They even said that they brought the original art designer for 10 who designed ANIMA and redesigned ANIMA for this game. So that's going to be fantastic! So this is confirming at least one of the new trials that we're going to be facing. Probably the first trial, if I have to be honest. Don't know what we're going to be getting after that. Okay, they also mentioned new challenging dungeons. And they brought up a couple of them right here. So the first one, I'm guessing it's also going to be taking place in Thandar. They say that it looks like it's on the end of the world. I mean, if you look past there in the distance, you can kind of see what looks like RADZ-AT-HAN. And it looks like the final days are slowly starting to take effect. They're slowly starting to basically burn down everything. Because it definitely looks reminiscent of the final days that we saw in Amarot. So these look like kind of old ruins. And so the next one here is I was convinced that we were going to be going back to the Void Ark because it looks like the Void Ark. This looks like we would be running around there, like we would be perfectly at home. I mean, I'm guessing that this is going to be part of Garlemald. We definitely saw traces of this with Fandaniel. Oh wait, maybe we're going to the moon here with this. That would be fun. And so here's another part of a dungeon. Definitely going to be taking place in Garlemald, though, it looks like. And here, it looks like a train station all set up. Maybe for transporting goods, or maybe we're going to be coming across the Doom train here. I remember Yoshi-P joking about that, and people were so excited about the idea of the Doom train, they said that they would see what they would do. So, I mean, if they're going to add the Doom train in, this could be the perfect place for it. Now, they're going to be having a mixture of dungeons here, and it's going to be everything from modern to fantasy to ancient ruins to even techno. So we're going to be getting a wide variety of different kinds of dungeons in this game, and there's going to be many of them. I'm guessing that there's going to be around the same number that we had with Shadowbringers. How many were released? I think there was like 8 or 9 of them. So, I mean, we're going to be having a lot of fun there. Moving on to what is next is the high-end raid. So we already finished up with the Eden storyline with patch 5.4, so we can now start looking forward to what we can be expecting with the new raid. And they did show us some artwork here, and it looks very, very familiar. So let me know if you've seen this before. Yes! So I have no idea what this whole thing is going to be about. Only it has something to do with Laha Brea. I mean, it could just be any Ascian, but when you look at his face, like his sigil there, like his mask, there is no doubt in my mind that it is Laha Brea. I don't know if he's going to come back somehow. I mean, if you remember, he was cut down by the Archbishop, like back in Az's Law, or maybe this is like something he had set up before he died. I don't know, but it looks like we may be getting a kind of different finale when it comes to Laha Brea, which kind of felt anticlimactic now that I think about it, at least compared to Emix and Elidibus. But yes, the next high-end raid is known as Pandemonium. They couldn't really talk about it, but they do promise that it's going to be completely unique to Final Fantasy XIV. It's completely new, an original story. I don't know what it has to do with Laha Brea here, but I can't wait to see what they have planned. Okay, moving on to what is the new Alliance raid. So the Alliance raid of Yohai hasn't ended yet with 14. It should be ending with 5.5. And they even promised that along with Yohai, they are planning the new Alliance raid. So they don't have a name or anything for it just yet. They do tend to kind of keep this whole thing secret for us. They do promise though that it is an original story, and this time it is not a crossover with like any of the other Final Fantasy games, such as how we had the Return to Ivalice, which was of course a touch with Final Fantasy XII, and of course Yohai Dark Apocalypse was connected with Yohai. So this one here is not a crossover, but it is going to be something that is going to be based off a piece of an Eorzean lore and story that we've been wondering about for a long time. So yeah, looking into that. We do have some minor information next up, such as the new small-scale PvP mode. Apparently they're going to be removing role restrictions, have a new reward system. So I'm normally not a fan of PvP, to be honest. But if they're going to be adding it, I do hope that I will start to enjoy it maybe a little bit more. Now we have some new side quests, including role quests, crafter quests, and gatherer quests. So the role quests were introduced in Shadowbringers. I don't think that we're going to be going back to the first and playing them out from there. I do think that this is going to be part of a brand new storyline. And they are planning already on making some changes to that, such as, for example, in Shadowbringers we only had 4 role quests, which was of course the tank, the healer, the ranged DPS, and magical DPS. Here though, we're actually going to be having it expanded to 5. So we'll have the tank, the healer, the melee, the ranged DPS, and the magical DPS. So we actually have a chance to focus on each one of these certain types of roles here, so each one gets their own time to shine. Of course, we're also going to be getting some new gears and recipes. And here we have an idea of what the new gears are going to be looking like as well. I'm really interested in what looks like the monk. I'm guessing that that's the monk gear in the middle, so I really hope that the others are going to look as cool. We also have some trust system updates here. So we have the twins, first of all. So Alize is still going to be a DPS. Alphino is still going to be a healer. But they are planning on adding new characters, including a very special someone who's going to be joining us that people have been asking about for a long time. Yes, we have the one and only Astidian. So he's going to be joining as, of course, a Dragoon. And hopefully they say that he's going to end up speeding up everything in the dungeons, because I mean, it is helpful when you first run through it with the trust system, because at least the others know what they're doing, but the attack power is so slow compared to when you go in with a party, like with a duty finder party. So hopefully he's going to help kind of make it go a little bit faster. But why would he join? He's a lone wolf, he always has been. Well, apparently he's going to end up joining us because of what happens in 5.5. Can't wait for that. So can't wait to see those adjustments to the trust system. We also have some Gold Saucer updates. Apparently something really big is going to be added to the Gold Saucer, something that fans have been asking for a long time. I don't know anything else about that, but hey, if they want to add in the entirety of Mahjong into the Gold Saucer, I'm sure that's going to be something just as big. Let's ball. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say that? Anyway, moving on. So this here is something I'm actually really excited about. I don't know, I'm just really excited when I saw this picture here. So I don't think it's going to be like residential housing. If it is, I really can't wait to see that. But yes, we have what is known as the Island Sanctuary. Apparently, we are going to be getting our very own deserted island somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. And here we can enjoy what's known as slow living. So they did say that this is not something just for crafters and gatherers. This is a place where anyone can play it, where you can raise animals, you can farm, you can sell all the foods that you grow here. And you can even have your minions and mounts roaming free. I mean, look at this picture. We have an adventurer walking there with like a basket of vegetables. All of her minions are following her. She has her mounts waiting to greet her. So the dev team call this Dash Island. So players can actually go to an abandoned island apparently, and we can see what happens from there. So this is not like the residential districts, I don't think, but I don't know, I'm just strangely excited about this island sanctuary. So yeah, I can't wait to allow my mounts and my minions to roam free across this barren stretch of land or something. I don't know, we'll find out. Now, speaking of residential districts, we knew it was coming. This is probably the biggest thing to have ever happened in the Final Fantasy XIV game since Heaven's Ward. We have been asking for it, we've been praying for it. And we were kind of expecting it ever since the firmament first started building. Yes, people, it is confirmed. We have a new residential district in Ishgard. If you thought that Kugane was a bloodbath when it first came out, that's gonna be nothing. We are talking about the coming of another calamity here, with people fighting, like killing each other, tearing each other apart to get a strip of land, even a tiny house set up in Ishgard. I'm getting dramatic, I know, I can't help it, but yes! So Ishgard is going to be coming with the residential district. When the original expansion comes out of 6.0, they are going to have it set up so that you can go and look at all the plots. But those will not be up for sale just yet. So the residential district will not become available. You won't be able to buy a home until 6.1. So they made that very clear. So yeah, you have plenty of ways to obsess over it, to come up with different plans. Like you can join with your friends and save up for enough money to buy your own house. Personally, I would be astounded if I'm lucky enough to get there. I remember like when I first tried to get a new home in Kugane, they were all gone in like the first 10 minutes. If even that. I'm expecting these to all be gone in like the first minute. So good luck out there. Okay, they also made some changes to the battle system, where they're going to be downscaling value. So traditionally what happens that with every level that you gain, you get more attack power, you get stronger, which is expected. However, this has caused a lot of problems. The calculations have caused a lot of overflow, which results in bugs. So basically, what it means is the higher the number, when the numbers get that big, they cause a lot of problems, a lot of system errors, and a lot of bugs, which is really difficult for the dev team. Calculations for amenity have reached their limits, flying tech becoming very lengthy. The higher HP pool for bosses in patch 5.5, and they went out of their way to tell us this, but apparently one of the bosses that we're going to be facing in 5.5 is going to have 440 million HP. And because of that, it just becomes so much problems because of this issue, and so they are going to be making some changes there. So the differences in values used from levels 51 to 80 are going to be reduced. Maximum damage per attack will also be reduced. Experience points will also be reduced, especially if you are planning on leveling up from 80. However, they did reassure us that just because we are getting less experience from beating an enemy, that also means that we're going to be needing less experience to level up. So it's still going to kind of even out. Now, if you're worried that this means that you're not going to be able to fight against stronger foes, they did promise that enemy HP and damage that they deal is also going to be reduced. So we are still going to be doing probably around the same percentage of damage that we have been doing up till now, but the numbers are going to be going down. They're just recalculating everything. So they did reassure us that just because the numbers are going to go down, it's merely just a system issue. Players are not going to be getting any weaker. Which is a relief, because I don't know how we're going to survive otherwise. And now, sadly, comes a big announcement. Something that I think maybe some of us have been wondering for a while now. But we are going to be losing a major part of Final Fantasy XIV. Yes, we are getting rid of the belts. So, in case you don't know, back in 1.0, whenever you wore a belt on your character, you could actually see the belt. The belt was something that was actually equipable and actually made a difference to their outfit. I don't know why, but they did kind of remove that feature from A Realm Reborn and onwards. So, you can have a belt equipped, but there was really no point to it. So, yeah, belts are no longer going to be equipable starting with 6.0. And you don't need to worry about having to get rid of all of your belts right away either, because the equipped belts are just going to be given to the Calamity Salvagers for safekeeping, so there's no need to rush to remove them. However, they did say there would probably be a good idea to remove any materia through these belts as well. Also, belts are no longer going to be dropped from duties and item exchanges, and instead, the 35 available slots from the belts are actually going to be divided into different parts of the armory chest. So 15 of those slots are actually going to be added to the weapons, so that we have a much wider range of weapons that we can hold on to, and the other 15 are actually going to be added to the rings. A little surprising with the rings. I was kind of hoping that maybe each one of the item slots would grow maybe by 5 at least. But hey, what can you do? Oh, and if you're wondering about the remaining 5 slots, those are going to be held and reserved, apparently for a rainy day. Well. Okay, so we're almost at the end there. They did talk a little bit more about the data center travel. Apparently that's going to allow players to move to other data centers, at least temporarily. So they did talk a little bit more about that. Oh, and of course, the CEO appears, so he does this once in a while. So I remember when he first came out, like during Shadowbringers, and thanks to him, we had Gunbreaker revealed that day, so I love this guy. He's hilarious. So anyway, he comes on stage and he begins talking about the PS5. So the PS5, we were all kind of expecting it, we were all kind of waiting on it, and he had a great time just talking all about it. So, Open Beta begins Tuesday, April 13th, which apparently is when the next patch of 5.5 comes out, so thanks for that. And so they did show just a quick little trailer for it, like a little bit of information. So this is like the big thing for me. We actually have fast loading times. Yeah, and they weren't kidding. That's how fast it's supposed to be with the loading times. I have a PS4 myself. I love it. But the loading screens do take a ridiculous long time. I mean, it was much better than it was back with the PS3, but it still takes a long time. So yes, Open Beta happens in April 13th, 2021, same day as the next patch. So it comes with 4K resolution support, faster loading times, and significantly improved frame rates. Can't wait for that! Also, players who do have Final Fantasy XIV service accounts as registered license for the PS4, they can actually download and play the PS5 Upgraded Edition at no extra cost. So yeah, if you already are playing on a PS4 like I am, then you actually get a free upgrade to the PS5. So you don't need to worry about getting the PlayStation 5 version of it, though you still kind of have to find a PS5 right now, and I think they're kind of limited everywhere. Okay, so we actually have just one more quick thing to talk about, and that is going to be the Fan Festival of 2021 around the world. So more information is going to be coming to this. This is actually going to be mostly digital, but you can still go there in public. We don't know exactly where it's going to be taking place yet. However, it is going to be taking place May 15th and 16th of 2021. It's going to be streamed everywhere, including live concerts, free of charge. So you can just log on to your computer and you can watch the whole thing for free. Details of how to tune in are going to be announced at a later date. And the Final Fantasy Digital Fan Festival commemorative items, the mount known as the Lunar Whale. So if you remember, we had Cloud's bike of Fenrir a couple years back, and they even showed us a quick little video of the Lunar Whale. So pulling it up right now. So this is actually a homage to the Lunar Whale from Final Fantasy IV, and this is a very special mount because it is a multi-seater mount. However, as you are about to see, this is going to be our very first 8-rider mount. So you can't see anyone like on top of it. You can see kind of their names there. Everyone is going to be riding actually inside it. So you can actually carry your whole party with you all the time. Oh, that is fantastic. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. And who knows, maybe we're going to be flying to the moon in this thing. So yes, that's going to be the commemorative item for the Lunar Whale. We are also going to be getting some Digital Fan Festival commemorative items. And because we are going to be going to the moon, they decided to pay homage to Final Fantasy IV, which the ending did take place on the moon. So we have 3 brand new minions. We have Edge, Rosa, and Rydia. So it does look like you can get all 3 of these brand new minions. Absolutely cannot wait for that. So there is just one more quick thing that I want to mention before we leave from here, and that is the artwork. So they have this special artwork design in honor of Endwalkers, and it's gorgeous. It really is beautiful. So yeah, you can see here, this is actually an illustration of what appears to be Hydaelyn and Zodiark. And apparently the illustration is supposed to hold a lot of hidden clues in it as well. I think just little tidbits that we can enjoy. And they designed it in a way that it doesn't matter in which way that you look at it. Apparently there is no light or darkness. There is no good or evil. So I think that this is just their way of stating that Hydaelyn is not all good, but Zodiark is not all evil either. The two of them kinda have complete hold over the planet, and if we are ever going to set the people free from it, we're going to have to deal with both of them. So this story is going to be us putting a stop to Hydaelyn and Zodiark. Not just Zodiark, but to Hydaelyn as well. I have a whole video planned out about the idea of what's going to happen with Hydaelyn and Zodiark, so I can't wait till that goes up. Anyway, everyone, I think that's going to be it for now. That's everything that we know so far to Endwalker, which is going to be coming out this fall, 2021. Again, I'm really bummed out about that. I was hoping that it would come out in the summer, but hey, what can you do? I guess more preparation time for all of us, I guess. Anyway, everyone, that's going to be it for right now. I am also going to be doing a quick video about what we are going to be learning from patch 5.5. They are going to be doing the letter from the producer a little bit later on tonight. This probably won't go up until tomorrow, but I will be doing a separate video for that. Anyway, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you're all going to have a good evening and are looking forward to everything that they have planned. So until next time, everyone, take care and have a good rest of your day.